Yo, I bought some shoes from a drug dealer. I don't know what he laced them with, but I've been tripping all day. Everybody, welcome to the show. Trovon Reed. How you doing, man? Thanks for coming on.
No doubt.
I'm excited about it.
Yes, sir.
Tell the audience a little bit about yourself, who you are, kind of qualify yourself to why we're talking. You're a dad, you're a football player, etc. Give us a little background.
Well, my name's Trovon Reed, from Louisiana, from Thibodeau, Louisiana, small town, very violent. Lucky to make it out, honestly. Was blessed to be first All-American in my high school history. Was blessed to receive offers from every school in the country coming out. I chose Auburn, won a national championship in 2010, played with Heisman Trophy, winner Cam. Went on, graduated from Auburn, played 5 years in the NFL, Seahawks, Chargers, 49ers. Was a journeyman. Bounced around from team to team, got cut 8 times. And that's part of my story. When you mentioned about seeing me crying that time in the XFL, it had been so long since I actually could play a game.
Right.
I broke my ankle when I went to the AAF that had started. I broke my ankle, so in the first game, we was winning 28-0. Shouldn't have been in the game, but at that point, when they got to throw the ball, you stat chasing, especially as a corner.
Right.
I'm trying to catch a pick. So shouldn't have been in the game. Got rolled up on, ankle crack. I'm out the entire year. And then I come back. And then the XFL, I get drafted to the XFL. I somehow hurt the same foot in training camp. So I had to sit out the whole training camp. Now, I'm on a team with guys who, they're pretty good. So I'm really fighting for a spot.
Of course, yeah.
And finally, I get 100% healthy. I come out in pregame, man. I can't stop crying. Like, I just...
So excited.
Bro,
so
I was so ready to play some football. I could not stop crying. My coach was like, Trovon, you got the pregame speech. You the captain this week. He giving me all these things to do, but I'm just looking at him. I'm just bawling like a little kid because I'm so excited to get back out there and play the game I love, man. My little stint in the NFL, like I said, I was a journeyman. Got to the Chargers, got my first real opportunity to play. And I got in and it was history. I won my first game, won special team player of the week in the NFL. Second week, I come back and win I win special team player of the week again. So now at this time, they like, who is this kid? I was undrafted. Nobody really know me. They like, who is this kid? So they gave me an opportunity to start. I started versus the Raiders. I started versus the, who was it? Oh, the Panthers. Got my first interception on Cam Newton, former teammate. So they like, okay, he can play defense too. I come back the next week, catch another one versus Derek Carr. At this time, these the two who they talking about winning the MVP, Cam Newton, Derek Carr. So I'm catching picks by big names. So they like, who is this kid? And a lot of people start calling me Jeremy Lin because of his little stint he had when he just was making shots that he wasn't supposed to make with Kobe on his team.
Right.
So it was one of those deals to where, man, I was so grateful for that moment because the moment wasn't too big for me. I had been through so much in life, losing my mom, losing some of my homeboys to gun violence. Just I've been through so much that when I got in that moment, I had to do it not only for myself, I had to do it for them. Damn, stop. Then you take. I had to do it for everyone, my whole city. I was the first one from my city to make it to the NFL. So being from my community, it was so big, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of meaning to it. I get it. There's a lot of emotion behind it.
Yes, sir.
That's super cool, man. And I'm really proud of you.
Appreciate it.
It's a really cool thing. I want to hear a lot more about it. So it seems like, a lot of people that are really great at something, the greats out there, I feel like, are a lot of times over indexing, because of some adversity they had, or they had just incredible parents that set them up, or they have just unbelievable skill and talent, which it sounds like there's a mixture of some of those for you. You have incredible talent and skill, obviously, but then it sounds like you probably face a bit of adversity. And I'd be curious to know, like you said, you came from a really bad, town, a lot of violence, and you shouldn't have made it out. What was growing up like for you? When did your mom die? Like, how did that affect you, et cetera?
Growing up, I can't. I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, oh man, I was ducking gunshots every day. I'll be lying to you. I'll be lying to you.
Yeah.
But I did have homeboys who was doing that.
Right.
And I hung with those guys every day, so my life was always on the line because I didn't never know who they was beefing with. I wasn't beefing with no one. Like,
you were just associated with them.
The guy who I played sports. I never turned down the fight. I had to fight, but I never was a guy to pull out a pistol and want to shoot somebody. So, but my homeboys did. So anytime somebody from the opposition approach us, I'm not gonna run. I gotta stand here with my homeboys. So I risked my life a few times just being down for my boys.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up, I'm not gonna say it was too hard, but I did take chances. And when my mom, I never really had a dad. So my mom was my mom and my dad. So she always used to prep me for situations. Like, what if I'm not here? What you gonna do? I'm like, I'm gonna find a way. She like, yeah, like she just preaching to me. Like, it's like she was preparing to leave without preparing to leave, if that makes sense. And when she left, man, I had to become a man instantly. Like,
how old were you?
When I lost my mom, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't at the point, I didn't believe in God. Because when I found out Santa Claus was fake, bro, I thought everything was fake. When I found out the Easter money was fake, when I found out the Tooth Fairy and all them were fake, it was like, how am I believe in something I can't see?
Yeah.
And it took for another tragic accident to happen for me to start believing in God. Mm-hmm. And from that day on, like, my faith, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm just all about the Bible, all about,
Yeah.
I do sin. I'm not perfect, but I know who I look up to.
For sure.
I know who I pray to. I know who covered me and my family. So when my mom passed, it was a dark moment because she was all I had.
Yeah.
Like,
you got any brothers or sisters?
I got an older sister. I'm the youngest. I got an older sisters and 3 older brothers.
Got it.
And they all had their families. They always there for me. I'm not gonna act like they wasn't there, but ain't nothing like your mom being there.
Sure. And
like, they gotta take care of their kids.
How old were you when your mom passed?
I was 17.
Oh yeah,
I was 17. I was a junior in high school.
You had to put your big boy pants on and
had to
become.
And at the time when my mom passed, I was staying in my mom's old house. At the time, I didn't have no lights, no water. I couldn't pay the bills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was in high school at the time, though. I'm the number 1 player in the state, number 6 player in the country. But no one at my school knows that I'm living.
You're going through that.
Like, I'm living.
Coaches, nobody. Coaches didn't know nothing.
Nobody. I made it to where I used to wash my clothes sometimes in the field house. Like, I used to sneak and act like I'm washing the jerseys or something for
Yeah.
And throw my school clothes in there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't be stank the next day.
Right.
But I'm not gonna say I don't have the worst story, but I don't have the best either. Like, I can't sit up here and say, man, I had this growing up. I had everything I need. I didn't. But I had enough. And my mom made a way. And she just always taught me how to make a way. So that's what I did, man. Like, I used to get extra lunch. The lunch lady knew my mom passed. She never asked me about it because I always was with my boys. She never asked me, like, how you eating when you get home.
Yeah.
But I used to always peep how she used to, like, throw me an extra meat pie on my plate. You know, like, that wasn't because I was the number 1 player in the state. She knew.
She's just like, hey, I got you.
Yeah, like, her conscience knew, like, I got you. So, man, it was rough, man. It was rough. It was a dark, very dark moment, but somehow God lifted me out of that.
Yeah. That's crazy. Like you say, it's not the worst story. And it's probably not the worst story, but that's rough, man. Like, in the fact for you to go from that to where you are now and being, NFL player and all these things. Like you've, in a lot of people's eyes, you've made it, right?
Right.
So it's pretty awesome. And it sounds like your mom was incredible, that she
Yes.
she tried to set you up to be a man, to take care of yourself, and all that kind of stuff. So that's really cool. There's a lot of our story, and our brand's message is like getting dads more involved. And there's a lot of people who we've talked to who have overcome a lot of adversity and over index now as a parent because they had poor childhoods, no dad around, or a really poor father, or whatever the case is. So it's really, I'll be curious to hear, if kind of from your point of view, how you navigate life, and now as a parent, as a new dad, right? Like how that mind shift is for you of parenting as a father when you didn't have a father. Like, and what was the deal with your father? He just wasn't around. He was never part of your life.
Yeah, he was just absent. Like,
Yeah.
he was, and when he tried, I felt like I was a man. When I should have, honestly, and it's probably the first time I ever even said this. To a degree, I was wrong, because I felt as if when my mom passed, you should have automatically been there for your son. But it took you months to come. And by the time you came, I felt like I was too strong to even like cry on your shoulder. So I kind of like pushed him
away.
So I blame myself for that. But
well, at that point, at that moment in time, but you didn't have a close enough connection with him to feel comfortable enough doing that. You weren't allowing yourself to open up to him because you already had your guard up, because you probably, I imagine, had some sort of wall up against him anyways, maybe a little resentment. I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing or speculating, but yeah, that's so. Have you realized that recently, now that you're a father, that you feel like a little bit of responsibility, or is that something you've known and just kind of kept to yourself for a long time?
I always knew, like, I always knew I was going to be a great parent just because of how my mom raised me. Mm-hmm. Like, I was so, to this day, I'm so respectful. Like, I respect everyone around me until if it got to get to that level to where disrespect got to be displayed, that's the only way I'm going to get disrespectful. But until then, like, man, I respect everyone around me. Everyone is yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I don't care the age difference. I don't care. Like, that's just how she raised me. So I always knew when like, to this day, I never smoked. I never smoked weed. I never smoked black and mild. I never smoked nothing. Why? Because my mom used to smoke. And it used to get on my nerves when I used to go to school and my clothes were smelling like cigarettes. Yep. Like, so I always told her, like, Mom, I hate that smell. I'll never do that. Mm-hmm. My dad was a drunk. So I drank before, but I'm not a drinker. Like, right. I'm the homeboy. If we go to the club, I see everything. Like, y'all boys have fun. I got us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If I sip, I'm a sip, but I'm going to always stay sober enough to know what's going on around us.
Sure.
And that just come from where I come from. Like, I always had to be on my P's and Q's of who I hung around. So
do you think that it was your mom's sort of like instilling some of those values in you with having respect for people that kept you out of trouble, like kept you from doing some of the stuff that your homies was doing, pulling guns on people, etc., that the way that your mom raised you kept you out of that type of trouble?
I can't even say that. You know what I'm saying? I can't even lie and say the way that she raised me kept me out of it. I think it was my mindset. It was my mindset. I always want to be different. You know what I'm saying? And it got to a point where you would get, you know how you got the guys in the class. You got the guys who just come to school because they forced to come to school. But you got the guys at school who don't want to let you cheat off their paper. They covering it up. They got them guys, and you look at them guys like they weird. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, bro, like, pull your pants down a little bit. You got your pants to your belly, but you weird. It got to a point where I thought that was cool. I wanted to be weird. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be that guy to my family. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be the weird guy. I wanted to be the guy to say, you know what, man, I'm gonna make it in football. I know nobody in this city never made it.
Right.
So my chances is real slim. I'm gonna be the guy to make it. So everybody, when I say it, everybody was looking at me like I was walking with four heads. And then it happened. Now they, like
Do you do
they
you,
love
do
me.
you feel like you get to look back and be like, I told you so?
I used to do that. I was immature because I went overboard with it. I was
Right.
doing it too much. And I even wanted to do that to my college coach. You know what I'm saying? My receiver coach, because I remember, long story, but I'll make it short. We was writing on our goals of where we wanted to, when we first got there, what we want to do. So I put my goals down. I was immature. I was like, this in 2009. I'm like, man, I want an avalanche. You know what I'm saying? That's when avalanches was high. I want an avalanche. I want a big crib. I'm just putting down a whole bunch of stuff I never had. I remember him looking at my paper like, man, you got too much stuff on here. How you gonna get that? And I'm looking like, bro, you supposed to be my coach. You supposed to be motivating me to go get this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but he didn't. And I remember at one point, I ain't gonna say I prayed on it, but I used to be like, man, I gotta make it just so I can shit on these people. Excuse my language, just so I could,
Yeah.
So I'm saying to myself, when I did make it, okay, I shitted on them. Now what? Then it got old. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
That's not what I'm on no more. And everything now has just been positive, been uplifting. I was in a very dark moment when I was trying to shit on people. Because even though I had made it, I didn't enjoy it because I was too busy being strong. Like I was too busy holding myself together. Still, this baby girl right here is the only reason why I'm happy today. Like
Right.
NFL didn't make me happy. I was missing half of my heart with my mom, and she filled the other half. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the NFL was a dream. I did it. You know what I'm saying? But this girl right here is the reason why this guy is happy.
That's it. Hey, well, and it's funny too, because when I said, some people would look at your story and say you made it, and I think you probably for yourself you did. Like your goal was to do the NFL. You made it, you got it there. But it's kind of like it's always the next, like now what? Okay, cool. And a lot of times for people, like the getting to the thing, getting to the goal is the fun part. But like once you hit it, you're like, damn, now what? Like you said, you're a journeyman. Like you want to bounce around, you want to find the next thing. Like, all right, check that off the list next. I'm a lot like that too. It's like I don't really have any specific goals. I want to continue to do more. I don't know more of what. It doesn't matter. Like I want to do something fun and exciting that's fulfilling. For me, it's not really about the money or any of that kind of stuff. Like the money's great when you can make money because it affords you the ability to have fun. But that's what it's about for me. It's about fun and the adventure and the climb and the building and getting there.
Yes, sir.
Because once you're there, you're just like, okay, I'm here. Like now what?
Amen.
It's interesting. It's like it's funny. People don't get it. People that haven't gotten to a certain point or to what they're trying to achieve yet, they even if you break it down to the bare, like, oh, if I just had 10,000 subscribers, I'd be happy. And then you get 10,000 subscribers, and you're like, now what? You're like, it's the same. Like nothing changed. So people always think that the grass is greener on the other side, right? And it ain't. You got to find what really truly makes you happy, which is hard to do, and it's always a journey, I think. And I think it's a moving target. For a lot of people, it's a moving target for sure.
I agree, 100%.
It's interesting that you say that about your coaches. So it sounds to me like you always had your eye on the prize in a way, and like, I'm going to get out of this town. I'm going to get to the NFL. Like, you're not going to hold me back. So kind of going back to that started to formulate in my head, thinking out loud here while you were saying that it wasn't your mom that kept you out of trouble. It was that you had this idea that you were going to be successful and do something, and you were going to be different, and you liked it, that it was weird, and you were going to kind of make your own path. Do you think that and that you didn't want anything to screw that up for you, and you thought, did you think that like, I can't get in trouble with these boys. They're just going to screw up what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, no doubt.
That was it.
When it came to a point to where they knew that, I couldn't even hang around my guys no more, you know. And all my friends wasn't like that though, you know. I had my guys who was like that. I had my guys who was into sports like me, and it was me, my guy Trovon Coleman. Now he's been playing professional basketball overseas. He went to LSU. He been playing professional basketball for 7 years overseas. I got my guy Dylan. He's he graduated from Jackson State at HBCU. Now he's a big owner of some company in Dallas. I can't remember the name. So I had my guys who was my day ones who was on the opposite side with me. Like, we're going to do this, you know. But I also had my friends who got a hood mentality, you know, which I can't knock them for that because that's all they know. That's all they seen. Like, they don't know what outside of Louisiana look like. They'll go to Houston. That's basically Louisiana, you know. So they don't know. They haven't been to California. They haven't seen Seattle, Washington like I did. No knock for them because without the NFL, I probably wouldn't have seen them places.
Right.
You know, so I always remind my guys, even them, like, it's more. There's more
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more to what you're doing. Like, if you call this hustling, it's definitely more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like you watch movies, you know it's more. So why are you risking your life for this?
Yeah.
You know, when you could get a good job. And it's a conversation where sometimes it end in fights, sometimes it end in not talking to each other for months. But I feel like as long as you put that energy, as long as you put that positive energy in their ear, before they make a dumb mistake, you at least flash in their face before they make it. They can either say, man, I ain't worried about what he talking about. Oh, man, I ain't going to do that because Reed told me not to do that.
Right.
You know, my peace with God knowing at least I told him. At least I set him down because I have some of my guys who, when I wasn't on the right track, I had some guys tell me, like, bro, you need to tighten up. I'm forever grateful for that. Even though at the moment, I'm like, man, shut up. Like, you know, I got this, you know.
Yeah.
When I look back, I'm forever grateful for that because if I would have made one dumb decision, it's all it takes.
It could change. It could have changed the complete course of how the outcome was for you completely.
Facts.
For sure. Did you have, like, some of those kinds of guys? Did you have, like, were those your homies? Were those, like, coaches? Those were other people in your life? Like, who were those kinds of people that were, like, trying to keep you straight?
I had this guy named Sean Nelson. He like my dad. He basically is my dad. I call him Pops.
Okay.
He took me under his wing, honestly.
At a young age?
Young age. I was in 7th grade. This before my mom even passed.
Okay.
I got kicked out of school. I was going. I got to tell you this too.
Oh, let's hear it. Let's get the juicy stuff now.
I was in 5th grade, and my teacher, she used to tell me all type of stuff that she shouldn't be telling the student. You know, I was bad. You know what I'm saying? I was bad. I honestly, I was bad, and I knew I was gonna get whoopings when I get home, but I didn't care. I was really just showing off for the girls in the class. You know, I'm young and dumb.
Yeah.
And my teacher, she used to always tell me, she used to be like, when you get 18, you're either gonna be dead or in jail because you always want to impress people. So she used to always tell me that I'm gonna be dead or in jail. So that's why that story, I don't know if you follow me on Twitter or whatever, I always, every now and then when I think about it, I just tweet it. Like, man, my 5th grade teacher really told me I'd be in dead or in jail at 18. So she told me that. I remember one day at recess, you know, we young and dumb. We running around at recess. I'm running fast as hell. Bro, she stuck her foot out and tripped me, right? I still got the scar. I wish I could. I still got the scar on my knee. Piece of bottle glass went in my knee, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm crying. This woman started laughing, like, haha, like, that's good for you. Bro, I blacked out. I just went on. I just started swinging on her. So look, I got kicked out of school. Right? This is probably the biggest butt whooping I ever got by my mom. My mom beat me for like 3 months straight. every time she looked at me and seen that I was home,
What?
I got expelled. She just hit me. Boom. So some of the day after about 2 months, right? I done forgot I did it. And she just hit me. I'm like, man, what you hit me? Like, what you hit me for? And she had to remind me.
So you should be in school right now.
All my boys at school. So, anyways, I get the middle school now, and it's West Thibodeau and East Thibodeau. West was the best in sports. They was killing East for years. So, but where I was staying at, I was in East School District. So I snuck and put a different address so I could go to West. But my teacher that's at West, she was my next door neighbor. Let me trip you out, bro. This is a true story. I can't make this up. I was in her class, right? So I'm in her class acting up.
Hold on. She's your teacher and your neighbor.
She was my teacher and my neighbor. Okay. Because I wasn't supposed to be at the school.
Yeah.
Anyways, but if anybody knows, she knows. So, anyways, I'm at school, midway through, it's about to be basketball. We already done played football, so I done made it through football season. It's about to be basketball season now. Me and my boy, Siobhan, the one who I'm telling you about that played basketball, we in class cutting up one day. So, I had this girl, we wilding. Anyway, she sent us to the office. She was like, oh, and he stayed next door to me. He not even supposed to be at this school. I'm looking at her like, wow, you a snitch
just
now?
Outed you.
Like, you gonna snitch on me now? So they kicked me out of school, bro. So they kicked me out of school. Bro, I go to eat, like, no lie. They kicked me out. It was like on a Wednesday, right? So I walk all the way home crying, boo-hooing, like, oh, man, I got to go to East. Them boys suck. You know what I'm saying? Like, them boys about to beat the crap out of her. So I go over there. Man, Sean was the coach at East. And he, from that day, like, he just took me on this one. He was like, man, look, kid, you got something in you that a lot of these kids don't got.
He saw the fire that you had?
He saw it. And he saw it before I could even see it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when he never take credit for it, but I always give him credit for it because he saw me playing on a next level before. In 7th grade, he was talking about college and NFL, and I'm like, bro, nobody from around here did. You know, like, what are you talking about? So, man, he's a major part of my life. Like, he's a major part of my story. I would never tell nobody a story about my life without mentioning him because he's the shift. He's the turnaround that happened. He's the person that made me start thinking like a man at a young age. So Sean is the father figure of my life. He's my dad. He's my dad.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you've always had this like fire for sports. Was sports like a big thing in that town for all the kids, or was it just like some people were into it, other people weren't? Or is it just like what y'all did? It was like you were playing sports.
Yeah, it's sports or the streets. It's no other opportunities. Like, it's either sports, streets, or rap. And if you rap, you're basically gonna be in the streets.
Right.
People got too much pride to get a work at Burger King. Like, they got too much pride to go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like, because they have this, they want to keep up this image that they portraying on social media. So if you pulling out, you flashing hundreds, and then I see you working at Wendy's, it's like it's not adding up. Like, what you went cash your check just to take a picture?
Right.
So you got people questioning your cap. So you got a lot of guys who got a lot of pride who say, man, I'm gonna just hustle to keep my image.
Right.
They not really hustling to hustle. They hustling to keep an image for the women. You know what I'm saying? So
people that hustle on that level just to keep an image, like, they don't know what hustling is.
Man, and that's when you tell them that, it's, man, you ain't out here, so you don't know what's going on. Hey, say no. I'm not out there, so I can't tell you I don't know how much money you making, but I'm pretty sure if you was working in a plant, spending these same hours, I'm pretty sure you'll be making more, and you don't have to be worried about looking over your shoulder to see if the police come. So, But hey, you got it.
Yeah. So what's up with you now? What are you doing these days?
I'm about to get into coaching. I got offered a few head coaching high school jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Coach Malzahn here at Auburn offered me a job to come on the staff, but it was just I couldn't take it right then because my daughter. I had to make a decision for her.
Yeah.
If she wasn't here, I'd have definitely been on the staff already. But I had
what
to make
kept you from doing it because of your daughter? Just too many hours committed. Just couldn't split the time.
It was more so COVID. It was COVID.
I see.
100% COVID. I wasn't tripping on the hours because my girl she hooped at Auburn too, so she understand the grind that's gonna go if I do get the job. So I mean,
Jade's over here shaking her head. She's all pumped. My assistant Jade that you've been talking to on Instagram. She played basketball for the Naval Academy.
Okay.
And she's holds some records and she's a big deal.
She's a baller then.
She's a baller.
Okay.
Yeah, she's all about
Jade,
it.
I see
She
you.
can hear you too.
I see you, Jade. But yeah, my girl, she a hooper, man. She's 6'2". She taller than me.
Dang, just taller than Jade. Jade's like 6'1". You big tall girls. Hey, you guys are gonna breed another athlete.
I'm 6 feet. I always make sure I got on my shoes next to her. I can't let a little boy me, man. I can't let a little boy. That's my pride right there.
That's funny. That's funny.
Man. She averaged 16 a game senior year before tearing her ACL.
These damn injuries, man. Injuries that get you.
Yeah, without a doubt. That's the worst thing in sports right now.
That's the worst thing in life. The worst thing in life is a damn injury, especially when you start getting a little older. You're a little younger than me. You're how old are you? 30?
I'm 29.
29.
Yes, sir.
You probably feel 30 sometimes. You don't beat yourself up a little bit.
Yeah, every now and then I feel 40.
Man, my
when
shoulder.
You start feeling them hits.
My shoulder. I did something to my shoulder. I was like holding my daughter. I was playing in a lake or something, holding onto a dock, and I tore my rotator cuff or something stupid, and it's been a problem for probably 9 months now. And every time I go to the gym, I gotta be real careful, and I can't go to the. Now I'm just getting fatter and I'm sore and shit, man. This whole getting old thing sucks. Damn.
I ain't gonna lie. When I was younger, and we used to hoop. You know, when you're young, you can hoop all day.
All
I could play 50
day.
games.
Fall,
and I used to see the
matter.
old heads. They come out there and get about 4 or 5 games in. I used to be like, man, I ain't about to run with y'all young. But I used to be like, man, when I get old, I'm definitely not gonna be like that, bro. I go to the court now. That's me. I got 4 or 5 games in me. Then I'm going home to my family. I'll let y'all.
See ya.
Yep. Yeah.
And then, a few years ago, I thought it was gonna be cool. I like to ride my skateboard around. I have a couple of electric skateboards that I cruise around on. Hey, I fucked up, fell off, broke my knee, had a crazy surgery, so I'm all messed up now. I feel like I'm 50. This sucks.
Yeah, you got a lot going on over there.
Yeah.
I ain't getting on no skateboard. Can't do it, my guy.
Come on. What you can't? Is it because you can't skateboard, or you're afraid to fall?
Man, falling. Because when you fall on a skateboard, you fall hard.
Yeah. Hey, when the older you get, the harder you fall.
Yeah, I'm cool.
That's it. That's the game.
Yeah, I'm cool on that.
Dang, cool. So you taking a little break right now? You about to do some coaching? It sounds like.
Yes, sir.
You ever get any other endorsement deals or anything with based on just some of your past and experience or visibility that you've had or anything like that? You play around with some of that kind of stuff, on the business side of things. I'm interested in that kind of stuff.
I haven't. I've been in contact with people. A lot of Under Armour, for example. Even after I was done, they were still talking to me about doing something because when I was in contract talk with them when I was playing, because that's who I was with. I was with Under Armour when I was playing, especially after I starting. They gave me this whole runaround. You got to do this, you got to do that for us to sign you. I did that so fast. They was like, wait, you got to do more. I did more, and then they gave me the deal.
They kept moving the carrot out in front of you.
Yeah, they kept pushing it. So I'm like, bro, I'm just gonna go with Adidas. Y'all tripping. But I had been wearing Under Armour at Auburn, and it was the clique for my feet.
Right.
And even after I was done, when I told him what I was doing, my foundation, when I told him what I was going to get into coaching in high school, and I would like for them to sponsor whatever high school I'm at. I'm still in contact with that same guy, and it's been like 6 years. I still talk to him. He still sends stuff to my house, free Under Armour gear, he still made the promise that when I get the coaching job, if I want to switch my high school to Under Armour, he's 100% down with it. And like
That's
I say,
cool.
That's about the only one. But
are you familiar with Gary V and those guys?
Gary
Vaynerchuk.
Who that?
He's got a big media agency and stuff, but one department of his agency, they have Vayner Sports, and they do a lot with athletes and trying to do more on the business side for them. As they get out and retire and trying to keep endorsement deals going and like all kinds of crazy strategy. But he's like, this dude is like Gary is an interesting cat. He was an immigrant that came to the U.S. as a child, and he's trying to buy the New York Jets. Like that's his goal in life, is to buy the Jets. And he's like super into sports and all this kind of stuff. Anyways, he started this sports agency, and he does things so different from everyone else that makes him very successful because he hasn't really like drank the Kool-Aid of all the other bullshit that goes on with other agencies, and whether it's marketing or sports or music or whatever else he's into. He just does things his own way because he's just never been involved in a lot of those things before. So he just like paves his own way to do it that makes sense to him, and he's had massive success. So it's really interesting. But I have a connection with him. He's been on the podcast, and I know people. So if that's something that like you'd be interested, I could probably make an introduction to see if there's anything there for you or not.
Yeah, no doubt. Got to see about that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, something maybe comes some from it, maybe not. Who knows? But can't hurt to try, right?
Yes, sir. All you can do is say no. Yeah.
Hey, so as a coach, do you have an interesting like dynamic within you to try to coach these kids further than just the sport that you're coaching them, but more with some life coaching too, trying to keep kids straight, try to find the fire in the kid that doesn't know he has it, kind of stuff. Same that he did for you. Is that like
no doubt,
like a give back type of thing that you have inside of you?
Yeah, that's definitely one of my goals. A lot of these kids, especially like from these broken homes, I can relate. I definitely can relate. And what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to walk in any situation and sit up there and be like, I know it all. I played in the NFL. I know it all. That'll be my first mistake. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to observe, see who is who, see what is what, and just go from that point. And I feel like nowadays it's not, they don't care how much you know. Like they just want to like basically my coach instilled this in me. He was like, the kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You know what I'm saying? So when you let those kids know, like, bro, I'm really here for you. Like, this ain't no because I'm your coach. If you call me at 3 a.m. because you got pulled over by police, I'm out the bed and I'm there.
Right.
Like, just to make sure you just get the ticket and you not another hashtag. I don't care if you white, green, purple, whatever color you is. If you're a part of my team, you're a part of my family.
Right.
And that's how I'm gonna approach coaching. That's how I'm gonna approach it. I'm gonna approach it with my heart. So when I lose, I'm gonna lose with my heart. People might not like how I look, but when I win, I'm gonna win with my heart, and we're gonna celebrate. We're gonna turn up. When we lose, we're gonna lose with our heart too. So it's gonna be one of them deals.
Right on.
I'm gonna be lit. I'm gonna be lit now.
That's it. What's the next pair of sneakers you're buying?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I gotta see what's hot.
I know. I don't have my eye on anything. Man. I don't have my eye on anything either. My buddy of mine owns a sneaker store here locally. Keeps me up to date with
if you see something, no, make sure you shoot it to me now.
Hey, I'll tag you in some stuff. He's coming. We're having a cookout this weekend. He'll be at the house. I'll see if he always gets some early release stuff. He gets his hands on stuff. So, what size you wear?
10.5.
Ah, my guy. All right.
You're 10.5 too?
Yeah, 10.5.
Oh yeah, I'm coming shopping in your closet.
No, you're not. Hey, what's
I'm
up, man?
coming
You
to
got
the
you got
Space
the
Jam
Adidas
crib.
hookup. You got the Adidas hookup.
Hey, I'm coming shopping in the Space Jam crib, man. Got the Space Jam going on over there.
Oh man. Hey, where can everybody find you? Where you want them to follow you at?
At Trovon Reed on everything. Trovon Reed, Reed. On everything, on social media, Facebook, whatever you want. I'm there. YouTube. Follow my YouTube, man. I'm about to start busting people up in Madden
That's
real
right.
soon.
Gaming videos on YouTube.
Yes,
Awesome.
sir.
Dude, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure having you and talking to you about your stuff. And I'm super proud of where you came from and where you are and where you're going.
Appreciate that, my guy.
I think you're just getting started.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? I think that what you've been through is setting you up for something far greater than what you've done already.
I love the energy.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate
that.
Guys, thanks for listening and watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you go follow Trovon at Trovon Reed on all the platforms. Make sure you leave likes, ratings, comments, reviews, subscribe, do all the shit that you're supposed to do. And we would appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.